one last bold statement that we want you to contemplate. And once you contemplate it and come over time to accept it completely, it is our promise to you that you will then begin your living happily ever after phase of your life experience. Sometimes as your path is unfolding, the perfect thing along the path is a problem coming into greater clarity. Because at the same time that a problem is coming into greater clarity, you are creating the solution in your vortex. Then all you got to do, once you have sufficiently created the solution by poking around at the problem, you just have to decide to be a little more unconditional for just a little while, and the solution will reveal itself to you in very short order. You're going to reach the point that you bless every problematic person in your experience. Oh, you are responsible for major growth within me. I would not be the person I am today if it were not for the harassment that you have provided for me. I'm so appreciative of everything that you've caused me to desire that you're not. And when I gained the wisdom to stop making your deficiencies be the basis of my vibration, then everything that you helped me to become, I began to realize. And then you're going to love all of the components of this magnificent world, because we really are all in this together. And when you stop needing to demand the conditions to be a certain way for you at a certain time, you will find freedom. You will find the freedom that you've been looking for. You'll find the joy that is natural to you, and you will begin the living happily ever after phase of your life experience, which, as far as we are concerned, should be the only phase that you are ever in. So over time, we've been talking with you about who you are. You are so important to the equation of the eternal expansion that we all are. You said, I'll go into this physical experience and I'll explore and I'll see, I'll hear, I will experience the contrast, the variety. And out of it, I will come to my personal conclusions about what I personally prefer. And the reason that you did that so clearly, you knew that so clearly before you got here, is because you understood that the whole purpose of the variety is for choosing. You said, I'll make choices that are important to me. And you knew that in doing that, you would launch rockets of desire, that you would send out vibrational rockets, because you weren't even considering your vocabulary in those days. You knew that you were an emanator of perspective, that you would emanate with clarity whatever it was that you were giving your attention to. And when you know what you don't want, you emanate a rocket of what you do want. And we said, and we will remain here non-physically focused, free of all resistance of a physical nature. And when you send off a rocket of something you prefer, we will hold steady to that rocket, and we will hold firm to the equation that you are establishing moment by moment. And as you evolve because of this time-space reality, so will we. And we will hold to the expansion that you carve out. And you said, okay. Sounded really good to you, because you knew that as we held to that expansion, that you would be able to tell in every moment by the way you feel how close to your expanded version you are holding, or how much you have deviated from it, you see. So your emotions let you know. If you're feeling wonderful, that means you've launched lots of rockets of desire, and you are in this moment not offering a thought, belief, or expectation that contradicts the desire that you hold. You're right up to speed with who you are. And in that moving with the flow of who you really are, you feel elation, you feel passion, you feel exhilaration, you feel really good, you feel love and appreciation, you feel joy. But if you are feeling frustration or overwhelmment, if you are feeling angst of any kind, if you are feeling anger, or if you are feeling grief, if you are feeling revenge, or any of those negative emotions that feel like despair or fear, then that means that your perspective in this moment is so far apart from the perspective of your source about the same thing. That's the most important thing to understand. It isn't that we are focused upon something entirely different and that's why we feel good. We're focused upon what you're focused upon and we feel good. And that is, no matter how you try to figure it out, what unconditional love really is. We maintain our alignment with that which is love, regardless of the condition. Now, Esther wants to say, well, Abraham, if you were in the condition where I am, you might be feeling differently. And we say, do not argue for your conditional limitations. If you will distract yourself from the condition that is causing you the separation from all that you are, from all that we are, from that which is life, from that which is love, from that which is source, if you'll just cut that out, you'll feel good. In other words, it's like the cork is bobbing up there on the surface of the water. You can hold it under the water. That's what negative emotion is. But when you let go of it, when you're distracted from whatever you're doing that's holding it down, it will bob right back to the surface where it belongs. And you are the same. If you're not bobbing, it's because you've got hold of things unnecessarily. You're holding the conditions of those unnecessary things in your thought patterns. And in doing so, you're practicing them because you think a thought for 17 seconds and another thought like it joins it. It doesn't take very much attention to something to get enough momentum going that you can cause what feels like true separation from your life, from your joy, from your clarity, from your abundance, from your well-being, from who you really are. So, cut it out. So, momentum is really a big part of this conversation in the wobble factor. Because if you are launching your rockets of desire, but then you're countering it with, well, I would like more money, but there's not enough. And I would like more money. I would really like more money, but I don't have enough. And I would like more money because I would like to pay my bills. I would like more money, but I don't know hardly anybody that's got enough money. And I would like more money, but the government is so screwy with our money. I would like more money, but the government takes way too much of our money. I would like more money, but my wife is a crazy woman with a credit card. I like more money, but my husband doesn't earn enough money. I would like more money, but my employer won't give me enough money. In other words, you get all this momentum going until you've got quite a wobble going on out here in the conditions that you are examining. And what goes wrong is that then when you think that the way that you get to the place that you want to be is by solving those conditions, what you find out is when the wobble is severe, you can't. The momentum is too great. You can't stop the momentum of those thoughts, those beliefs. A belief is just a thought you've practiced into a very strong vibration. So the beliefs that you've practiced that match your true trajectory or your path of least resistance, those thoughts, those beliefs serve you and feel good when you focus upon them. But those beliefs that contradict your true path or your true trajectory, they don't feel so good. And we're just saying, if you can catch that wobble in the earlier stage, it's really easy to deal with. But if you wait until it's out there and all kinds of conditions have occurred or been realized by you because of the consistency of the wobble, you see, you get what you think about whether you want it or not. So when you talk about what you want in the absence of it and what you want in the absence of it and what you want in the absence of it and what you want in the absence of it, you've got this mixed vibration going on and you're living some of all of that, and it's a rocky ride, isn't it? So now you know everything we know. Now you know everything about the laws of the universe that are important for you to know. Now you know everything about your guidance system. So now the only thing that's left for you are two important things. First, you have to accept that your emotions are your wobble indicator. They are your resistance or your allowing indicator. They are your on the path or off your path indicator. They are the being true to you or not being true to you indicator. That's what your emotions are. That's first and most important that you have to know. You have to accept it. You have to remember it. You have to believe it. You have to know that. And second, you have to care about how you feel. You have to be unwilling to put up with early wobbles because they're going to get more. And what happens is, oh, that doesn't bother me that much. Oh, that's all right. I don't feel any really strong pain about that. I can stand that. Yeah, it's been going on a long time, but I'm strong. I can take care of myself. It's all right. I'll be all right. And everybody lives like that and so on. But as it gets bigger and bigger, then you start joining chat rooms about it. Then you start going to those meetings with other people that are leaving that same sort of dysfunction. Then you start drinking things and shooting things and ingesting things in order to numb the discord. In other words, what are you drinking? Wobble-free juice. Really? Wobble-free juice? Well, no, it just covers up the wobble. It makes me unaware of the wobble. It makes me unaware of the wobble. Well, does it help? Well, at first. At first it helps, but eventually my life goes to pieces, and so what do you do then? I just drink more. I drink more. I shop more. I do more things to try to fill the void, the wobble void. I try to fill the void with action and behavior. How's that working out? Not that well, but I keep believing that eventually I'll find something that will soothe the pain of my disconnect from the source who is me. There's nothing that soothes that. You just got to stop the wobble. And when you get good at that, in time, there'll be very few wobbles. There'll just be those preliminary wobbles that help you launch more rockets of desire. But you do not have to live without the things that you want. You are creators. You can be or do or have anything. The entire universe backs you up. You just can't contradict your own path and feel good. And you know, everything that every one of you want, or has ever wanted, or ever will want, everything that you want, whether it's a relationship or a pile of money or an enterprise or a material object or a circumstance or an event, everything that you want because you believe you will feel better in the having of it. And what we want to show you is that if you can not wait until you're out there in the weeds, in the wobble zone, trying to deal with conditions that have so much momentum that you just get scrambled, so that there are endless books written on parenting. Yeah, you should do that. No, 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 you should do that. And we say, none of it works if you wait till you get out there, because you're responding to conditions. You're at the bottom of the hill. You're trying to stop the momentum. You're not going to do it. The only thing that works is to get at the beginning of the momentum and to line up with the whole of who you are, and then take the whole of who you are into this conversation, into this situation. So there's lots of ways that we've been saying that to you. Bless your hearts. You've been following us around and listening to all of these rampages for such a long time. We said you create your own reality. Step 1, step 2, step 3, upstream, downstream. You create this vortex, we wrote a whole book about that too, this vortex of creation. There's this vortex of creation, and then we hammered at you, get in the vortex, get in the vortex, get in the vortex, get in the vortex. You said, if only we could get in the vortex. How in the hell do we get in the vortex? Get in the vortex. We said, everything you want is in the vortex, in the vortex, in the vortex. And then you said, I get it. All my money's in the vortex, but I want to get it out of the vortex and into the bank. How do I get it out of the vortex and into the bank? So then we began talking to you about your grid, about this, where you stand right now, your point of attraction, this atmosphere where you are vibrationally, this atmosphere that you must achieve vibrational alignment with what's in your vortex. And when you do, when there's no resistance, seamlessly what's in your vortex will move into your reality. Jerry called it years ago, turning thoughts to things, turning those thoughts to things. How do the things that are in the vortex, how do those desires and goals and wishes, how do they become reality? You have to achieve a vibrational frequency that allows you to realize them, you see. That's how thoughts turn to things. And so now, we're giving you the big piece of it. Now you'll get it. Now you'll get it. If you listen back, there isn't anything that we've ever said to you that doesn't fit perfectly with what we're saying to you right here and now. It's just more clarification of the same thing. You are source energy in a physical body, and you have a trajectory. And when you line up with that trajectory, when you dovetail with it, when you add to it, when you are in vibrational sync with it, you feel so wonderful. Sometimes people say, oh, it worries me. Abraham's trying to get me to be really selfish, and everybody else too. And if everybody's selfish, won't they do bad things to each other? And we say, no one ever does anything unkind to another when they are in vibrational sync with who they are. It is not a possible thing. Those people that are acting out and hurting others are hurting themselves in a very big way. You just don't know it. They've got split energy. They're responding to conditions. They feel out of control. They got a big time wobble going. They don't know what else to do. But you do. You do. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely.